Here we go. Hello, and I guess welcome to this first vlogcast podcast interview. Today we are talking with Nadav from Mammoth Factory Games. Hello and
Hello,
welcome.
hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. So first, I guess, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? How long you've been with Mammoth Factory Games, and how long it was founded? I mean, must be going back a few years now.
4 years. We're in November, October, November. Yes, dyslexia. November is our 4-year anniversary, which is exactly when we're finishing this Kickstarter. So it's double celebration. It's like we planned it,
Whoop
you
whoop.
know.
Party, party.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Nice. So, what did you? How did it? How were you inspired to come up with Mammoth Factory Games? What was that like? Because
Oh, we're doing a Mammoth Factory game. It'll be great. Let me think. Didn't prepare mentally for this.
just completely
Um,
catch you off guard.
It's great. It's good. It's good. We started because me and Daniel played in the D&D game, and after the D&D game, we found ourselves just talking about the D&D game we just finished for 2-3 hours. This was during COVID, right? So we just after 4, 5, 6 hours of playing a D&D game, we stayed after the game and just talked shit about it. And then we're like, maybe we should turn the post game into a podcast. But then we became too ambitious about it and turned it into a podcast, and then started to over script it, and recorded 20 episodes and edited for Classic. Um, you know how it is.
Yep.
But that was the foundation, and we wanted to start this Patreon that was like about adventures based on that, and we wanted to call it what was it? Smithfire Adventures,
Smithfire.
because my last name is Brandstätter, and his, which means doing something with fire, and in German, and his last name is Smith, so we were like Smithfire. It's a good name, right? But then I was reached out to by a person, David, who is an amazing sculptor who used to sculpt collections for collectibles for DC and for Marvel. He's an incredible collector, and we've been in touch for a while, but I kept forgetting that he wants to work with me. And he was like, "Oh, you know all the business stuff, and I know how to do sculpting.
Hmm.
Let's do it together." And I was like, "I've got Daniel, and Daniel's an amazing writer." And he was like, "Great, let's do it together." So we somehow all took a leap of faith and stopped working for 6 months, just straight up.
Wow.
We were like, "We're just gonna not do everything else we're doing." David had to give up his clients. Daniel had to give up his very stable writing gig, and I was at the time kind of just after working with My Mini Factory and was doing a bunch of projects. I used to be a professional musician, so it was that, but COVID obviously. So I had the most time. That's the truth.
Yep.
But I somehow convinced them. Was like, yeah, everybody quit your job. 6 months, no pay. Ready, go. Uh, and then we did, and somehow because of my connections to My Mini Factory, because I used to work there, we got 100 subscribers on our first month. I say it because of the connections, with the help of some of the
Yep.
connections, not of My Mini Factory itself. I mean, some as well, but mostly because I knew other creators, and they were like, "Hey, check out these new guys." So even though we were quite late in the game, we managed to somehow climb up to the top 10, top 20, or whatever, wherever we are, depending on the season.
Yep.
So we got really lucky, and then after 6 months, we were sustainable, which is great.
That's
So
awesome.
there we go. That's the tale of Mammoth Factory.
Yeah, brief backstory. And I think when you said there you were ambitious, I think that's something that, from working with you beforehand, I've definitely seen where you guys will absolutely shoot for the stars. You don't just sit and go, yeah, this month we're going to do this. So it's really achievable and a bit boring. You're just like, hey, why don't we create this whole thing? Which, it boggles the mind. I don't know how you have the energy for it. So hats off to you for it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We definitely spend, we turned our hobby into our work, and so we don't work a day in our lives. Such nonsense. I mean, we work harder.
Yeah.
We work all the time, and it's great. But we like our work, so
Yeah,
maybe there's
that's
some.
a bonus. That's a bonus. And I guess being ambitious brings us on to the next thing. You've got another Kickstarter going
Yes,
live
we
as
do.
well, which is absolutely awesome. So, There we go. So that is up on screen now. So at point of recording, you guys are 805 backers. Congratulations.
Chink, chink.
So tell us
Yes.
about this Kickstarter, and I guess about Kickstarters in general for you guys, because how many have you done now?
This is our third.
Third, okay.
We've done some other smaller crowdfunding campaigns that were STL only focused. But we're actually in the process of bringing those over to physical, which is going to be interesting for sure. So we're planning to do a Kickstarter twice a year, one big one small one. Because what we did is that we did our second Kickstarter and we've made so many mistakes on that one. That we were like, oh no, we can't send our stuff to the people because we didn't want people to get upset, and I get that, but also it's kind of an interesting thing where by far most companies don't wait until they fulfill things to do the next project, because the truth is it would just cripple the company. So we are moving away from that structure and moving into like, oh yeah, there's going to be another Kickstarter, and the other Kickstarter is being produced, and as long as we try to deliver it as quickly as we can, within reason, it should work well. And we promise we're not doing a Ponzi scheme, because that's the problem with a lot of these companies, is that they were like, oh, we have to get the money from the next thing to do the thing, and we didn't do that, and we really suffered from it. And now we're doing so. This is not a good introduction to Dark Descent. So Dark Descent, our current Kickstarter is Dark Descent. We have been working on, or I should say, Daniel, our head writer and my business partner. He has written the setting for Dark Descent maybe 15 years ago, maybe more.
Oh, wow.
It's been his baby for a very long time. The way we work in Mammoth is that we alternate books. Sometimes he writes a book, sometimes I write a book. I mean, most of the writing is done by him anyway, but we come up with a story because I have some background in stories and he has some background in stories. And he has his own world that he really likes to develop. I think we have like 4 worlds at this point in Mammoth Factory.
Okay.
We have different worlds for different settings, right? We have a fairy tale world called Evermere, which has a bunch of fairy tale related things. We have Arad, which has a more of the darker, grittier kind of things, which is more Daniel stuff. And then we have Eora, which is our kind of kitchen sink classic fantasy, which has a lot of the D&D related things, or that a lot of things fit in there. And then we have some other things as well. But this one is Arad, and it's a very specific part of Arad. It's this kind of underdark, gritty setting that is not like the kind of subterranean worlds you might know, but it's in this one it's kind of a unexplored ancient history kind of place where the powers that be, the kingdoms that be, on the surface, they send all their criminals and all their banished people down there, and everybody's branded with their crime, right? If you're a traitor or a rapist or a killer or a thief or a whatever it is, you're branded with your crime, and then you're sent there, and maybe you're exiled, maybe you were framed.
Ooh.
Maybe you
Intrigue.
worship the false god, or maybe you worship evil gods, or which is actually, if you want to go there, that's kind of where they are. So it's good for you. There's a lot of reasons to go down there, but this dark, deep underworld, underland. That's not the world. It's called Deephold.
Okay.
And Deephold is a dark, unknown, unexplored place where there is this one city and a bunch of other, and it's not really a city. It's kind of like it's an ancient civilization space that was left over by a civilization called the Anak. It was a very old empire, like 6,000 years ago. They disappeared. They were really powerful, really knowledgeable, but they're a big mystery, and it's not really clear why they disappeared overnight. And there's a lot of clues to it, and you can learn and you can go deeper. And the main setting is that you're a criminal, you're sent down there, and then you get infected with something called Voidstone sickness. And because of that sickness, you're allergic to sunlight. So even if you wanted to escape miles above, you couldn't. You can't, because you would die.
So that's great for those dungeon masters who have players who are really annoying and will be like, I'm just going to go up the ladder.
I want to go up.
I'm one of those players, so that would stop me.
That's fine. Exactly, that would stop you. But also, like, you very quickly learn that there's a rumor that there is a cure.
Ooh.
but it's way down below.
Okay.
And the deeper you go, the more dangerous it is, which means you need to get stronger, which means you
Yeah.
need to go delve even more. And there's this whole economy of when everybody's a criminal, it's very dog eat dog, backstabbing. There are different factions, different criminal organizations, but everybody's a criminal. So
Mm.
it's kind of, that everybody has different flavors and different lines, and it's there is the power at B that hold the space, but they're all corrupt, and
Yeah.
there's multiple. It's a very interesting place called Lowtown. Lowtown is the city. We have a great map of it somewhere in the campaign.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's Deep Hold. That's Dark Descent.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And what sort of things do people get if they go into like back it and everything? I'm guessing there's lots of different rewards because there always are with
Right.
Kickstarters.
Yeah, I mean we can briefly just very quickly slide
Hmm.
through it if you want. The custom pledge is just one excellent dragon. I mean, so you can pledge $1 and you get a great dragon STL, which usually sells for I don't know 15 or
Hmm.
something. And it's a stat block as well, so we take care of people with 3D printers and without.
Yep.
Then you have the two PDFs, which is like 450, maybe 450 pages. We're not sure yet because we're still writing, of
Yeah.
course. Um, and then you have the two books and two PDFs. That's the core, and it has a really nice slipcase with
Hmm.
really nice art. Very excited about that. And then I think you have the digital deluxe, which has everything but digital, everything that is digital. And you can choose between VTTs or the Mega STL bundle, which has 200 STLs in it.
Wow.
For those people who are interested in 3D printing because of your channel,
Yep.
we put the gallery of the STLs at the bottom of the Kickstarter because compared to the 50 million people or however many people play D&D,
Yes.
the overlap with 3D printing is like I don't know 500,000 or maybe
Yeah.
a million,
Okay.
maybe bigger. I don't know, maybe a million or two. I'm not sure, but somebody correct me on the stats. But it's a small amount, so
Hmm.
we realized that if we show miniatures too much in the campaign that are STL focused, people are like, it's not for me, right? So
No, that's fair enough.
we had to kind of arrange it. So the STLs is down at the bottom, and you can go check them out. And they're amazing. They're the value if you're if you're into 3D printing, the value is definitely there. They're all really great miniatures. There are some physical miniatures as well in the all-in tier.
Okay.
I'm skipping things. So the most I think the most valuable tier is definitely the game ready tier,
Yep.
which has some dice, has the printed maps, has a bunch of printed materials, has DM screen, has two decks of cards with new Infernalism magic, the School of Magic,
Okay.
and magic items. It just has loads of great stuff and a bunch of digital stuff and a bunch of physical stuff for that price. It's really a great deal. And then you have the all in, and the cool thing about the all in, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Apart from getting some of the most beautiful dice we've ever produced, there is 40 printed huge battle maps. That's like
Oh.
we have a map folio, and that's 33 inches by 22 inches. Most of them, some of them are smaller, but by far most of them are these gigantic, beautiful, gorgeous battle maps. So that's a big draw to that. And also, if you're interested in VTT and STLs, there are some people who like that. So, for example, people that have like they put their TV
Yeah.
as a map,
Hmm.
so you can have that as a map, and then you can print your STLs and you can put it. So if you like that combination of things, then the all-in has both the VTTs and the STLs.
Okay. Perfect. Nice. Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Oh, and very importantly, there's physical minis in the
Yes.
all-in tier. That's very important as well. There's a select number of NPCs.
Hmm.
There's some of the big bosses. No gigantic minis because that makes production
Of
not
course.
feasible, and then it will just make the tier too expensive, and people wouldn't want it. So we try to make it selective, but you can always get those, and then maybe if you have a friend that has a resin printer, you can print a few of the other ones. But there's also paper minis in all the tiers from digital deluxe and onwards, so you can always just print a few paper minis and
Yeah.
use those. Yeah, for sure.
Which I think, in all honesty, even as a 3D printing channel and a 3D printing person, makes so much sense because the amount of times I've gone, I'm going to run
It
this
does.
campaign, and you look and go, I can't print that many minis, and then
I
get them to a
can't.
standard
Yeah,
that people can play with. So actually, you could just print a few of the minis off, like your top
exactly.
ones, your NPCs, and then like your enemies and stuff like that. just have them in paper. It makes so much
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, exactly. That's why we do it, and that's also why we didn't make like miniature standees again because there's just so much in
Mm.
this campaign, like 200 different designs, and then that's individual designs,
Yeah.
right? Some of them you want to print more than once, so that ends up being so. It's definitely a campaign you can play for maybe a year or two easily,
Wow. Okay.
easily,
So
easily.
there's a lot
There's
of value in
a
that.
lot
Yeah.
there, a lot.
Absolutely. And I've got to say, I really like hidden behind me, like one of the original books that you've got from
Nice.
Kickstarter. They're really nice because I think again you were mentioning Kickstarter there and Ponzi scheme and people sometimes thinking that it can be a bit like, oh, well, what quality am I going to get? And these are nice. These are really nice printed books. Just they
Yep.
feel like something you would probably get from. Not saying that you're not a proper company, but if you went on to,
No, no,
like a
we're
company that
definitely small.
everybody knows
Yeah,
from, the
that's
D&D space, it feels like something you would get
whatever
from them.
company. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, thank you. We really try. And one of the things that is actually not mentioned enough is that we play test everything
Yes.
personally, which is also a kind of unheard of. Some people play test Kickstarter stuff like they test some mechanics out or something. We play tested the whole campaign
Wow.
twice.
That
Twice,
is.
right? So we know our stuff. We know we're real nerds. We get nerd credit. Um, and yeah, I've had multiple characters die in that campaign. Great. It's great. It's great because I was kind of like, I was playing. I think we played this as once in 3 players and once in 5 players. It worked in both. It was great.
Okay.
Um, but it was, yeah. I mean, when you're 3 players and if certain things weren't balanced yet, because we did fix
Yep.
them, of course. But sometimes just like, oh no, he died.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
Hey, whoopsie. Here's another criminal character.
Yeah, and I can attest that they do play test them. You play tested something at mine before when we were doing the mass
We
combat
did.
system, and it was there, and it's all in the early development stages, and you could see all this like brains ticking away. It's like, okay, that bit didn't quite work. Let's change this,
No,
and
that's not fun. Let's make it fun. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
exactly. So I think that's really interesting. There is so much here as well, and if you've backed anything from Mammoth Factory beforehand, you will know what the miniatures and everything are like. They're really high quality stuff. I've done quite a few videos now with your minis, and
Hmm.
they always come out really, really nicely. And I know, like I said, there's going to be some overlap there with 3D printers who are watching the channel who then want to go off and look at this. So it's definitely worthwhile having a look at. If you want a big thing of STLs, there's a lot of stuff there.
Absolutely. For an SDL person who also likes 5e content,
Hmm.
you are our holy grail kind of customer, and I think you would get the easily fantastic value here.
Yeah.
That's the but we don't judge. We also have like for example, we work with one page rules as well, and we
Hmm.
have data sheets for all of these 7 collections, all these 7 armies. And that's also play tested. So we definitely care about wargamers as well. And some people just like the books and don't care about miniatures
Yep.
at all. Again, that's the majority of D&D people. So we try. One of our mottos is like play anywhere.
Hmm.
Right. That's kind of we really believe in supporting people to play in however they want. You want theater of the mind, you got it. You want
Yep.
just to read it, you got it. Like we try to do to accommodate for any kind of player
Yeah, and that's got to
or
be
game.
hard. And one of the questions I had was, you know, in the time since you've started, and I guess that you've been in the industry, how has it changed? And what are like the challenges that exist in terms of like just delivering not just the Patreon side of things, but Kickstarter as well, because it's constantly evolving.
Yeah, it's a good one. So unlike most Kickstarter companies, we also have a very, very demanding monthly subscription for those
Hmm.
who don't know, which we make, 25 to 30 STLs a month. That all needs to, so we start with story and then we make 2D art and then we make 3D art. That's a 3 months process, right? So it takes, and we need to do market research. Do people like that? And do we like that? And does it fit with the rest of the book? Because we write books, right? So um, it's a whole mess just to do that, and that's most of our resources. Which means to make what we do in the Kickstarter, it we only have like a week to 2 week a month to really focus on that,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't our main focus. Now it's slowly becoming more of our main focus. We're also talking about board games. We're
Oh,
looking at
okay.
board
It's
games.
exciting.
Starting to design our first, very very slowly. So we're branching out. We're definitely going to go into physical as well. We're starting to look at, especially with this campaign, we've learned a lot in the first and second campaign. The truth is that, even though it might look like, a lot of money for some people, but $100,000. Not that I'm not grateful, I'm super grateful, but it's once you start producing things physically,
Mm.
that money goes away very quickly, and you definitely don't make money on certain things. So the vouch of confidence in Dark Descent of, hey, we like this thing, go make this thing. That allows us, except from fulfilling to the backers, which is definitely important, but it also allows us to make a product to go out there in the world. So we really were thinking from the get go, like, okay, this is going to be on a shelf.
Yep.
We want
Okay.
people to pick it up on the shelf. Um, the cover for the slipcase was honestly, like, I think we decided on that, like, maybe we changed it from something else 2 days before the campaign. I was
Oh,
like, no,
wow.
that art's got to be on that slipcase because it's too good. And I'm proud of that because, like, maybe in the campaign, if you know the campaign, you know what it is, you can go for just like a slick logo that
Hmm.
just says there, sent, ooh, mysterious, like. But no, I mean, we wanted to show the art nice and proud on the front, and I'm really glad we did it. Other things that people might think about is like, oh, why can't I get one of the books on its own? And like, nope, it's just a product like this.
Yeah.
You need each book to run the other, if
Of
that
course,
makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
Regardless if you're doing the campaign or not, because the campaign also is the campaign and the bestiary,
Hmm.
so, and most people want the monsters. So it's like, if you, yeah, the whole thing is one thing, but we were definitely focusing on like, okay, how can we produce the Kickstarters to help us produce to really get into shops and become a real company,
Okay.
whatever that means,
Yeah,
right?
whatever that
Like
looks
to,
like or
to
whatever it
become,
means.
to become exactly. And we're also working on getting, our miniatures into nice boxes,
Hmm.
and there's some discussions with other third party companies, which I'm not going to mention yet because it's not signed, but we're definitely discussing expanding the company into the physical space.
Okay, it's exciting.
Um, yeah, yeah, but it's a challenge for sure. Kickstarters take time to do. It takes time to hire artists and to hire writers and to make sure it's all right. And then the most annoying thing is that you work on everything and I think everything is fine,
Yep.
and then everything comes together, and then one thing doesn't work. Let's say, I don't know, one dice is wrong
Yep.
or something. Once you got the prototype and then you have to fix the prototype even if everything else is ready to ship. You
Hmm.
can't ship that and not
Yeah,
ship
not that one
that because
piece.
then because no, the customers don't want to, rightfully don't want to pay for shipping twice, but then that means that everything gets delayed because one thing was a problem,
Yep.
and then once you ship it, maybe you discover something else was a problem, and so yeah, it's the shipping game is a painful one,
Hmm.
and we're very proud to say that we've managed to keep our shipping costs to the estimates that
That's
we've
good.
done last time. We also managed to, half luck, half being clever, to dance around the tariffs,
Okay.
in a legal way,
Yeah.
obviously, obviously.
Pirate ships,
That,
just dropping them
but
all off.
exactly, yeah, yeah. Submarines, mammoth submarines. That's the new business. No, no, no. So completely legal, but we did plan this campaign with all these tariffs in mind.
Yeah.
Like, that's why most of the products are printed materials, because printed materials don't get taxed as much, if at all, depending on where you are. And the miniatures are not coming from China; they're coming from the UK. And we've really considered all those things. So there's definitely a lot of challenges with
Hmm.
doing Kickstarters and the Patreon and all that. And we're trying not to do so much. So we've also canceled a bunch of projects so we can really focus. And I think it shows, like, that campaign looks real good.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
I think it looks real good. So we're proud of what we're making, and we've learned a lot from our last Kickstarters, and we couldn't have done it without those backers as well.
Hmm.
And we're so grateful to our Kickstarter backers, really, and to our patrons, everybody who supports us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really interesting, isn't it? Like you said there, you've tried so many different things. And like I said, I've been behind the scenes with you guys a few times before on meetings. I sit and I look at your boards that you've got all these plans on. I'm like, if I had hair, I wouldn't anymore after this meeting because yeah,
It's
exactly.
going. It's
It's
going
a
away.
miracle you've still got any left. That's incredible. But like the
The,
amount of
the
stuff
forehead,
that you guys do,
grow bigger forehead.
it's so
Thank you.
ambitious. So it's kind of interesting to see. Obviously, now you've dialed some of those things back, so you can really
Yeah,
focus. And
exactly.
like I said, I think that shows, doesn't it, that this, the Kickstarter already, the crowdfunding has already hit it off, and it's off to a
Mm.
fantastic start. So it's got to be appealing to someone out there. 805 people precisely at the moment.
Yep, yep. That's very, very good, and we're hoping to that people will see that and be like, "Oh, that's really good. We want that." So yeah, that's the hope.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think we've covered off a decent amount there. I have one last question, and I don't
Shoot.
know if you will actually be doing this because it was
Oh,
what projects are you currently working on in the hobby space if you have time to actually do that? And I'm assuming you probably don't.
you mean personally? No, you mean
Yeah,
as Mammoth?
personally, like you. So, what are you hobbying
Oh.
at the moment? But I think you're building houses instead, aren't you?
I'm renovating my place at the moment, yeah, because there was a lot of problems. My floor got destroyed.
Oh,
So
no.
I had to redo my floor, like literally pipes.
Oh,
Like
of course.
I
If it's
destroyed
going
my
to happen to
kitchen.
anyone, it's got to be you.
Of course, it's gotta be me. Yeah. What things am I working? So currently, for the first time in a long time, because we used to run these playtests for everything, I'm not in the official playtest anymore, and I was like, oh my god, I can just play D&D again.
Hmm.
Uh, so I decided to run a D&D game within one of our worlds, but not to do with the release structure.
Okay.
So I get to explore one of the books that we will be writing for the world of Evermere, the fairy tale world, and I get to play that, and somehow I have get this 9 players.
Oh, wow. That is coordination.
Hear me out. It's 9 players, but they get to. I just say like, hey, next week, who wants to play, and then they commit for 1, 2, or 3 sessions, depending on the arc, and then those people commit and they try to be there, and that means I never need to worry about not having enough players, and people have
Hmm.
their lives, they're busy, they're whatever. So it's kind of like a drop in, drop out kind of thing, and most games I have 5, 6 players.
That's
So
good.
yeah, so that I would say that's definitely in my hobby space. I want to get a bamboo.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yep.
an FDM. I definitely want to get into the FDM space because it's just so nice to be
Yeah.
able. Oh, I have this idea, especially when you have a group of,
Hmm.
STL artists that I could be like, "Can you make this for me?"
Yeah, absolutely.
I could.
It's so quick and easy just to be like, oh, can I? And especially you've got access to that modeling side of it. You can be like, I want
Yeah,
this, and then someone can
yeah.
deliver that.
To be fair to me, I don't just go like make me something I want for me. Like it's not. It's like I want for me because I think it could be a
Yeah.
good product, right? Like let's be real here. But definitely the power at the fingertips is like
Yeah.
it's. I mean the whole project is a bit like that, right? Like it's. But the nice thing is that we have there's always a not a wake up call, but like you feel responsible as an art director or creative director of the company. You feel responsible for people and
Hmm.
for the client. Like you really are like, okay, do people like this? Do we like this? Does this work with our design philosophy? And it's a dance. It's a dance, and you
Hmm.
need to keep so many balls in the air to keep them
Yeah.
like. Is that the right term?
Yeah, that makes sense. You're
Plates,
juggling a lot of
plates in
things
the air.
there, and
Yeah, spinning plates. Yeah, there's a lot of spinning plates to consider at one time, and yeah, it's yeah, and I've been taking up painting a little bit more, so
okay.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
a
think I
little bit
saw one
more.
of your painted minis a couple
Oh,
of
that's
years
garbage.
back. You showed me it.
It's so terrible. Don't like don't show this. But yeah, I'm trying to understand, yeah, a little bit more.
Hmm.
What, but that's I'm lucky that we have a whole team for
Oh
that
yeah.
that really knows painting, and they like go like, "Oh, this is not good," or "This is good enough." Yeah,
Yeah, it's a whole other. I think that's the thing. It's so many individual hobbies that you've ended up like kind of cramming together to make this really
yeah,
big hobby, and then you have to juggle it all and think, well, actually, I want to have a miniature that's created. Does it print? And actually, then once it's printed, can people paint it well? It's so many things to consider when you're doing all of that. So, again, hats off to you. I do have far less hair. I would have no hair.
Minus hair.
Minus head. Ooh, how would that even work?
I'd
just turn the head upside down. Perfect. Yeah, that's me done with my questions. Have you got anything else you wanted to throw in there before we sign off today?
No, I mean, yeah, go check out the project. It's a really great video. It's 1 minute, and yeah, if you have any questions, do shoot. We have a really active Discord server. We're very active there. We'll answer within a day, and we just feel very grateful to all our backers. That's the main thing, really.
Awesome. Thanks so much, and thanks for taking the time to come on today. And if you've got any questions, throw them in the comments, or like Dav's just said there, head on over to their community. It's a really active community. There's a lot of people over there who are really not just the team at Mammoth Factory, but the community who engage with it. Very passionate about it. There's some amazing painted examples of miniatures they've got over there as well, and
all the time, too many.
Yeah, so many that pop up and I look and go.
I just feel I'm like, oh no, I'm not good enough.
Yeah. So if you ever need inspiration for how to paint things, there's a lot over there.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So once again, a huge thanks to Nadav from Mammoth Factory Games for coming on today to chat about their incredible work that they're doing over there. Make sure you go check them out. We'll have everything linked down below in the comments. If you would like to come onto this podcast, vlogcast, whatever it's going to be called, I will come up for a name with it. Drop me an email at sean@greyscalpminiatures.com and I'll get back to you. It can be anything within like the miniature creations, whether or not you're creating STL files. I know there's a lot of you out there that sometimes watch my monthly recap videos. I'd love to have you on the show just to chat about what you're doing, all your passion, what got you into the hobby and stuff like that. It's just a fun way to learn a little bit more about what happens behind the scenes. Even as well, if you are from a 3D printer company, resin printing, any of that, I'd love to have you on the show. It's always interesting to find out the humans behind the face of the business. So thanks for watching or listening. Take care.